Hi, today I want to use Firebase AI Logic and Gemini 3 Pro Preview model to do a few things. Uh, First, I want to use the model to analyze the image to generate an alt text, some hashtags relevant to the image, and some recommendations to improve um, any aspect of the image. And then I asked Gemini 3 to use the tag and Google search to find a surprising and or obscure fact about the objects or the persons in the image. Finally, I displayed the token usage of the models. Gemini 3 enables thinking by default, so the total number of token used include the number of input tokens, the number of output tokens, and the number of thought tokens. Moreover, the thought summary can also be displayed, so I know what the model was thinking when receiving my instructions in order to complete the task. In this project, I learned at least two things. I found out that Gemini 2.5 and above support thinking mode. I didn't know it until I start operating this project to Gemini 3.0. The other thing is I normally use Gemini API with my pet projects. This time I broke out of my comfort zone and used Gemini in Vertex AI instead. The experience was very important to me. I'm happy that I tried it and I make it work, and I would love to share my experience with the local communities in Hong Kong. Okay, let's start the demo by uploading an image of a fictional manga that I created using Nano Banana Pro. So let me click the button to analyze the image to generate alt text, hashtags, recommendations, and a surprising or obscure fact about this image. And in the console log, I log the Gemini model that is currently used. I'm currently using Gemini 3 Pro Preview. I log this value to make sure that I am not using Gemini 2.5 Flash by accident. So the Gemini 3 model is working, and the result is here. Next, let's look at the result. The first thing I want to check is the suggested tags. So New Japan Pro Wrestling is the biggest Japanese pro wrestling, and Hiroshi Tanahashi is currently the CEO of this wrestling promotion. Kazuchika Okada used to wrestle for it, but he's now wrestling in the United States of America. So this is a manga. This is a retirement match of Tanahashi that will happen in Tokyo Dome, Tokyo, on January 4th, 2026 next year. The name of the event is Wrestle Kingdom 20. So this is a wrestling match, a professional wrestling match. So every tag is very accurate. I'm surprised that Gemini 3 is able to extract these tags by analyzing the uploaded image. Next, let's look at the generated alternative text. A manga comic strip depicting Hiroshi Tanahashi's retirement match against Kazuchika Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 20. Panels show them performing signature moves like High-Fly Flow and Ringmaker, ending in a 30-minute time limit draw and an emotional no contest finale. Yep, the text is accurate. Tanahashi's finisher is Hi-Fi Flow, and Okada's name is Ringmaker, and his iconic finisher is also called Ringmaker. Yeah, this alternative text brought a smile to my face. So next, let's check out the recommendation that Gemini 3 suggested. So the first recommendation is to colorize the manga panels, applying signature colors to the characters. So the Tanahashi's colors are red and black, and Okada's color are gold and ringmaker patterns. The second recommendation is animate the speed lines and impact effects. The third recommendation is to add audio sound effects. The reason is to include crowd roaring, the referee's count, and the ding of the bell. That would create a more immersive experience, simulating the atmosphere of the Tokyo Dome. I agree with the last recommendation. I heard the ticket sale is going very well. So more than 40,000 tickets have already sold. So when 40,000 plus people roar in the dome at the same time, the atmosphere of the venue and the match would be magical. And I cannot wait to watch it on my laptop that day after work. If it is a work day, if it is not a work day, I would love to watch it live in front of my laptop at home. Finally, I want to show a surprising or obscure fact about these beta rifles. A surprising conceptual link between these beta rifles is that despite defining an era by fighting against each other, they briefly put their differences aside in 2023 to form a dream team along with Tomohiro Ishii and won the never open-weight six-man tag team champions, providing they could dominate as partner just as effectively as they did as opponent. I forgot they won these belts together 2 years ago. Yeah, Gemini 3 brought this up, and I suddenly remembered they teamed for a while before Okada left the promotion to wrestle in the United States of America. Okay, so these are the web search queries. There are 7 of them. Retirement match comic, Wrestle Hiroshi Tanahashi retirement match versus Okada, Wrestle Kingdom 20, and the other stuff. And then some of the Google search suggestions. So let me open these links in new tabs. So, wow, okay. So I can look at these links to make sure that Gemini 3 didn't hallucinate when generating this fact that I forgot. So, yep. Okay, did not want in. Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, no inline citations were generated. So I would love to try again to display inline citations for the sake of the demo. So after regenerating a few times, I finally got inline citations working. So the inline citations were obtained from the grounding metadata. So let me click these links to open in a separate text. So Tanahashi will retired after wrestling for New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 20. So Tanahashi and Okada will wrestle the final time in Japan. And spotillustrator.com. Okay, yep. So, Okada, yeah. So basically, all the links are relevant to Tanahashi, Okada, and the retirement match in Wrestle Kingdom 20 in Tokyo next year. So before showing the code, I want to display the token usage and thought summaries. So the new thing is thought tokens. So the number of thought token used is 4,000, and the total number of tokens used is 5,589. And we can also see the thought summaries. So the model tried to analyze image details, and then the model used the tag to review and refine the fact. The fact may or may not be correct. It's because I remember they faced a few times in the well-known G1 Climax tournament, but I don't think they had a time limit draw on these metrics. But I was able to demonstrate inline citations, web search queries, and Google search suggestions, which is the things that I want to demonstrate in this demo. I won't cover UI logic because this is straightforward. Instead, I want to talk about the Firebase configuration and the surface in Angular. So in this application, I have a Firebase provider that uses a dependency injection to provide the Gemini 3 model when the AI model injection token is provided. So AI model is an injection token. So when this token is used for injection, I know for sure that an instance of a generative model is returned. And then I provide a factory function. So inside the factory function, I initialize a Firebase app. I initialize app check to make sure that the right domain is used to call the Firebase app to avoid abuse. And the Gemini 3 model return a JSON object, and the object must satisfy the schema of image analysis schema. So this schema has an array of tags, has a string to represent an alternative text, has an array of recommendations. Each recommendation has an ID, a text, and a reason. Finally, another string to represent a surprising or obscure fact. Moreover, I instruct the Gemini 3 model to include thoughts, and the thinking budget is 512. And the get AI function return a Vertex AI backend, and the location is provided by the environment variable, which is global. I think it's I cannot find it right now, so believe me that it is global. And then the get generative model function return a Gemini 3 model with the generation config, and use the Google search tool for grounding. And then this function is included in the providers of the app config in app.config.ts. So this wraps up the configuration part of the Firebase app. So I have a Firebase service to make requests to Firebase in order to get the content and the other information back. So I inject the AI model, which is a Gemini 3 model. In this surface, I have a generate all text method that accepts an image. And then the image is converted into an image part that has a data URL and a min type. And I have a prompt that instructs the model to do 4 things. Task 1, generate an alternative text for the image provided, maximum 125 characters. Generate at least 3 texts to describe the image. Based on the alternative text and text, provide some suggestion to make the image more interesting and the reason to support them. And the last task, search for a surprising or obscure fact that interconnects the following text. If a direct link doesn't exist, find a conceptual link between them. And then I used a Gemini 3 model to generate content based on the text prompt and the image. So when the result has a response, I attempt to get the thought summary, and then I want to get the JSON response that is in text format. First, I replace the tick JSON with an empty string, and then I use JSON.parse to parse the text to get an instance of image analysis back. And then I pass response.usage metadata to get the token usage. Finally, I pass the grounding metadata to obtain the inline citations. And I return the JSON object, the dot summary, the token usage, and the inline citation back to the UI components. So the get token usage helper method is very straightforward. The parameter is an optional usage metadata. So I create a token usage object. So input is either the prompt token count or 0. The output is either the candidate's token count or 0. Thought is either the thought's token count or 0. And total is either the total token count or 0. And then I return the token usage object back to the generate all text method. So the construction citation helper method is responsible of constructing the inline citations. The parameter is an optional grounding metadata. So, and in here I use the grounding chunk indices to find the chunk, right? And then if chunk.web is defined, I push chunk.web into the citations array. So the citations array has a list of URLs to the relevant articles about the text, the fact, and the alternative text. Rendered content gives me those bubbles. And when I click the bubble, it shows another web page with a lot of links. Search queries is an array of web search queries. Sometimes the query can be an empty string, so I use dot filter to filter out web search query that is an empty string. Then I return citations, render content, and search queries back to the generate all text method. And that's basically the code to return the result in this UI. So I hope you enjoy my my sharing, and try to use Firebase AI Logic with Gemini 3 model when you have time. So have a good weekend, and bye bye.